Have you ever felt like your emotions were in the driver's seat, speeding you toward a cliff, with you just holding on for dear life? Imagine this: you're in a meeting, making a point, when someone interrupts you, cutting off your flow. Your blood boils, and you're ready to fire back, but what if I told you that you don't have to react that way? You're not at the mercy of your emotions. In fact, you're in control, even when it feels like you're not. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Today, we're going to explore how you can steer your life in the direction you choose, regardless of what emotional storms come your way. This isn't about becoming cold or emotionless, but about learning to master your actions, to be the captain of your ship on turbulent seas. Are you ready to take control and become the hero of your own story? Emotions aren't your enemy, they're more like that intense workout partner who sometimes pushes you harder than you'd like. They serve a purpose, warning you of threats, celebrating your wins, and connecting you with others. But if left unchecked, emotions can hijack your rational mind faster than you can blink. Your brain, hardwired for survival, reacts more to danger than it does to modern life annoyances. When an emotion hits, the amygdala, your brain's alarm system, goes off before the logical part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, has a chance to get involved. That's why you might feel an overwhelming urge to yell at someone before you've even processed what they said. The problem is that many people think they're at the mercy of these emotional waves, allowing anger to lead them into confrontations they regret or letting fear keep them from pursuing their goals. But that's where they're wrong. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers who were the original mentally tough guys, knew better. They figured out how to stay cool when life turned up the heat. Take Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, who once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus wasn't just dealing with everyday annoyances, he faced wars, plagues, and the burden of running an empire, yet he still preached that we have the power. If he could handle that pressure, we have no excuse. The Stoics believe that it's not what happens to us that causes us to suffer, it's how we interpret those events. It's like lifting weights, the weights don't change, but your mindset determines whether you crush that last rep or get crushed. This is where the power of choice comes in. Between what happens to you and how you react, there's a tiny space. It might be as small as the moment between seeing a punch coming and blocking it, but in that space lies your superpower, the ability to choose your response. That choice is where your freedom resides. Imagine life as a boxing ring. Life throws punches, your boss criticizes you, your partner leaves you, a friend betrays you. Your emotions flare up, that's natural. But right there, in that split second, you have the power to choose how you'll respond. You could let those emotions take over and end up flat on the mat, or you could take a step back, keep your guard up, and decide on your next move. As Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson said, success isn't always about greatness, it's about consistency. Consistent, hard work leads to success. Greatness will come. The same goes for mastering your actions. It's about consistently choosing your responses, even when your emotions are shouting at you to do otherwise. Feeling angry doesn't mean you have to yell, and feeling scared doesn't mean you have to hide. You're the boss of your actions, not your emotions. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "The only man who never makes a mistake is the man who never does anything." Taking charge of your actions means accepting that mistakes will happen, but it also means growing from them. So how do you actually do this? It's one thing to talk about staying cool in the face of emotional storms, but it's another to walk the walk. Luckily, there are practical techniques you can use. First up is, pause and reflect. This is your secret weapon when you feel your emotions revving up. Before you react, take a deep breath, count to 10 if you need to. This pause gives you a chance to think, to ask yourself whether your next action will help you or hurt you. It's like that moment in the ring when you step back to reassess your opponent. The next technique is cognitive reframing, which is a fancy way of saying change your perspective. Say your workout buddy bails on you. Instead of thinking, "This sucks, my day is ruined," you flip it and think, "Now I can push myself harder without distractions." Same situation, but a different mindset. Another powerful tool is values-based decision-making. This is about asking yourself, what would the person I want to be do right now? Imagine you're your own hero. Would they lose their cool over a minor setback? Probably not. Lastly, there's emotional acceptance, which is tough but essential. You acknowledge your emotions without letting them control you. You say, "I feel angry," but you don't let that anger dictate your actions. When you consistently choose your actions over your emotions, the benefits are massive. Your relationships will improve because people will trust you to stay calm under pressure. You'll become the person others lean on during a crisis, not the one they avoid because they don't know when you'll blow up. Your decision-making skills will also skyrocket. Instead of making choices in the heat of the moment and regretting them later, you'll be the one calmly navigating difficult situations, seeing opportunities that others miss. As chess champion Garry Kasparov said, the highest-level players are not emotional players. They are technicians. You'll build resilience like a mental bulletproof vest, ready to face whatever life throws your way. Life will still throw its punches, but they'll land softer because you'll be stronger. Mastering your actions isn't a walk in the park, though. It's more like running uphill with a weighted vest on. You'll face serious challenges, especially when emotions hit hard and fast. It's one thing to stay calm when someone cuts you off in traffic, but it's another when your boss humiliates you in front of everyone. The key is to treat these intense emotions like a tough workout. You embrace the burn, feel it, but don't let it control you. As Jocko Willink says, discipline equals freedom. The more you practice controlling your actions under pressure, the easier it gets. You'll also need to break old habits. Your brain loves shortcuts, and reacting emotionally is the fast track. Breaking that habit is like quitting junk food. It's going to suck at first, and you'll slip up. But every time you choose your actions, you're rewiring your brain. Remember what Bruce Lee said, "I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times." Practice choosing your actions until it becomes second nature. It's not just about staying consistent on your good days, either. You'll be on fire some days, making all the right choices, and other days, you'll feel like you're back at square one. That's normal. The important thing is to keep going. You're building mental muscle, and like any workout, progress takes time. Some real-life examples can help drive this home. Imagine you're at the gym, focused on your personal record, when some loudmouth starts showing off, distracting everyone. The old you might have confronted him, risking a fight and getting kicked out. But now, you pause, realize his actions don't define your workout, and tune him out. You finish stronger than ever while he's still seeking attention. Or maybe your girlfriend tells you she wants a break. Emotions hit like a sucker punch, anger, fear, sadness. The old you might have lashed out or begged her to stay. Instead, you breathe, respond with dignity, and tell her you need time to think. This measured response opens the door for honest communication, whether you end up together or not. Then there's the promotion you didn't get. The old you might have let resentment affect your work or started looking for a new job out of spite. Now, you choose differently. You ask for feedback on how to improve, double down on your efforts, and 6 months later, you not only get promoted, but surpass the position you originally aimed for. If you're wondering whether all this really works, science is on your side. Neuroscience shows that our brains are incredibly adaptable. Every time you choose your actions over your emotions, you're literally rewiring your brain. It's like building muscle, but for your mind. Research has found that people who practice emotional regulation have better relationships and more career success. A study from Harvard showed that meditation, a tool for mastering emotions, can actually change your brain structure, beefing up areas responsible for focus and decision-making. Another study found that people who believe they can control their emotions actually have more control. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy: believe you can do it, and you're already halfway there. This isn't some New Age mumbo-jumbo. This is hard science backing up what the Stoics knew all along: your mind is the ultimate battleground, and you have the weapons to win. To really put this into action, you need daily practices, just like you wouldn't expect to get ripped by going to the gym once a month. Start with small steps. Begin each day with a mindfulness routine, even if it's just 5 minutes. Check in with yourself throughout the day, especially during emotionally charged moments. Ask, how do I feel, and what's the best action I can take? Keep a journal, and write down situations where you managed your emotions well and where you slipped up. Reflect on what worked and what didn't, and make a plan for next time. Surround yourself with people who practice emotional mastery, too. You'll absorb their energy and learn from their calm demeanor. As Jim Rohn said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Ultimately, becoming the hero of your own story is about taking responsibility. You can't control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. It's your life, your decisions, your actions. Every day is a new round in the ring, and the question isn't whether you'll face challenges, but how you'll face them. Will you let your emotions dictate your actions, or will you stand tall, take a breath,